evening. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight. Thank you for being here. Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the District of the Board of Directors to be held at 105 Port Road, Port Isabel, Texas on August 13th, 2025 at the hour of 5:30 p.m. for consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on August 7th, 2025 at 4 p.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551041, 551050, not less than 72 hours prior to the time of the said meeting. Today we do have a quorum present. We have Mr. Botter running late, Dr. Lalonde who notified us, myself, Mr. Friedman, Mr. Starkey, and Mr. Donahue. If I may please have everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the rain that you have provided and for that which we will continue to receive in our watershed. Lord, thank you for all the daily blessings that you bestow on us and for bringing us together once again to discuss the business of the Water District. Lord, we ask for your continued guidance so that we may accomplish what is set on the agenda and that we make the right decisions that will benefit our customers. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Thank you, Robert. Moving along to item 3, invitation to the audience for public comments. Includes staff. We have Doc Young, who would like to address the board also. Is there anyone else who would like to add anything or share anything? Yes.
Yes, sir. I do want to mention that Frank Marchand from the Water Plant Department passed his A license.
Congratulations. Nice accomplishment. Nice achievement.
I want to also just let you know that I put a narrative. I received a call from Andy Johnson on Monday afternoon, and she wanted an explanation of what the sinkhole was in Laguna Vista, and that's the one that we repaired, which will be brought up a little later. But I did write that narrative and I forwarded it to her yesterday, so this may appear in the Port Isabel Press tomorrow.
Thank you, Robert. Great. Doc Young with Long Island Village for the record. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Guna Madre Water Board, Guna Madre Water Department heads, and the general public as well. I'm Dr. Glenn R. Young. I'm General Manager of Long Island Village. I'd like to comment tonight on 2 items on the agenda. First of all would be number 6, which is to consider and discuss for possible approval a resolution to amend the service policies, general rules, and regulations for the Laguna Madre Water District. In that, I believe what's going to happen is that you're going to be asked to approve a connection fee of $2,750 per unit for some developing projects on Long Island. Our board met today, we discussed this. Our board has given a verbal approval of this. They are in support of this fee to be passed today. The only thing that they have asked is that in your draft, I believe it says per dwelling, and they are asking that that be amended so that it reflects per lot, because most of those developments are RV lots. So they want to be careful that they don't have a way to get out of paying a differential on that particular fee. So fee, if it's for the entire, I believe 246 units, should be for $2,750 per unit or per lot or something of that nature, as opposed to a dwelling or structure. The second item is on the agenda is number 8. It's to consider and discuss for possible approval of change order number 2 with Southern Trenchless Solutions for Long Island Village water and sewer improvements. I believe the impact of this is that there is an additional lift station that is to be constructed, and that's due to some difficulties with depth of getting under some of our bridge footings and getting the grade approved for, or the grade to the degree of slope that it needs to be for the sewer connection. The village is in favor of this as well. We want this additional lift station. We want the sewer to be able to work, and the force mains and the lift stations to all do what they're supposed to do. I think We've discussed the funding with Charles Ortiz on this as well. So again, the village is in favor of both of these items that are on your agenda tonight. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. And I would like to also say thank you for being nice to work with. I know there's some major projects and a lot of commotion over there. And I want to thank you and your staff and your board for working with us, as I hope we're doing the same with you. And
We're
thus
getting
far, I
along
believe,
smashing.
and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said.
Anyone else like to add anything? Okay, let's take it to 4. Consider and discuss for possible approval the minutes of the regular meeting on July 23rd, 2025.
Second.
Motion for approval by Mr. Donahue, second by Mr. Starkey. All those in favor?
Aye.
They are, none opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Let's take it to 5. Consider and discuss for possible approval of agreement with Marco A. Arredondo for electric broker consultant on professional utility rate and energy consulting.
Chairman,
Yes.
we had a committee meeting, and Mr. Starkey was there, and Dave couldn't make it that day. But we looked at everything, and the best choice that we had was them, Mr. Marco Redondo's Incorporation company. So we decided on that, and that's all I can say. They're gonna do a good job for us, and I believe that that's the best choice we made.
For the consulting only, we have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, to that end, I was present for all interviews, and I concur Carlos's statement. I think it'd be in the board's best interest to move forward with this line item. So in the spirit of that, if there's no questions, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made for approval by Mr. Starkey. Was that a second by Mr. Vaughter? All those in favor?
Aye.
They are, none are opposed, the motion does carry. Thank you, and thank you for the time and effort you put into that. Let's take it to 6.
Thank you very much.
What's that?
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Again,
Item 6, consider and discuss for possible approval a resolution to amend the service policies, general rules, and regulations for Laguna Madre Water District Resolution Number 228082025.
Just for clarification, this 2750 is a cost that they would incur, not we're incurring, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
it's basically water meter deposit.
Of course. I would just make a motion that we would amend the verbiage to represent per lot versus per dwelling. Are you going to present on this?
Yes, sir.
All right, Bone, present.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. There were some minor, changes. Most of these are minor, some definitions that were added, that were pending. A lot of them were already existing policies that were in place, but we're implementing them into the service policy itself to make sure that everything's, centrally located. For the Long Island Village connection fees, there was a little bit of back and forth on the dwelling part of it, just to clear it up. We mentioned dwelling, but what it does is it references, for example, if there's a duplex, they're gonna have to pay 2 fees, right? Each individual unit residence will pay. Now, if there's 4, 6, 10 apartments, it's times each individual residence, so that would be times 10, right? 2,800. So each individual, doesn't matter the lot that it's in, it's per residence. So
That makes sense.
Do you need, should we have our council double review all of that again to make sure that it's double checked? I'm just asking a question.
We can definitely have a review to make sure that it clears up. Charles, I don't know if you can hear me. Was there a previous review by the attorney?
No, it was just a discussion from July 9th, but you know, like we were talking about before, the equivalent service unit, if we add that definition, and I think that would be a more accurate term, just defining it by equivalent service units, so we can cover both multifamily and commercial development.
I hear that, and I think with what we heard in public comments, you know, the concern is all the RVs, right? So is there any specific language we can put in there to make sure that the RVs, you know, are tied to this responsibility as well? So that way we're covered on the multifamily dwellings, we're covered on the RVs.
Right, part of this is the definition directly from TCQ regulations. So if there's multiple RVs in a singular lot, we're still gonna charge per connection, depending on the amount of RVs that are gonna be able to be put in that property.
I got a question, only, but that is for connections to Long Island Village from the other properties around the area, not Long Island Village itself.
For future
Correct,
development
correct.
properties.
This is
that will
another
address
future
future
development
In the
development.
surrounding area
Right.
that isn't already paying taxes to,
Right,
to the project.
Right.
right, this other area that's coming in is separate from Long Island Village, it's towards the old
bridge.
causeway.
Can I ask a
Trying to get
question?
developed.
Is it going to be part of Long Island and regulated by Long Island? Or is it gonna be its own entity and its own, the future developments?
Well, we can only,
I can answer that.
Yes,
It will not be part of Long
Will
Island,
not be part of Long Island, okay.
Right,
Long Island Village.
Okay.
It will be part of Long Island,
But
on Long Island.
not
but
management
part
or,
of
okay,
the
that's,
yeah, right.
Just
It's
asking a
it's
simple
only, for shore connections, because, the wastewater side is the only one that's lacking on that side. They have water already available going through there, so that's what it is.
I mean,
Right, so, yeah, it's Charles, if I could comment, as far as, when they request a connection, for example, a 6-inch meter for a certain phase, their site plan will have the number of RV spaces, and that's what will determine the number of dwellings, or if we call it equivalent service units.
You don't understand that? I can't hear.
Yeah, I mean, the site
Okay, better.
for dwelling, that's didn't know if we wanted to, elaborate on dwelling. And this is to, include but not limited to multifamily units, RVs or RVs on a lot. I mean, I don't know if we want to elaborate.
We can definitely elaborate
have to
on,
incorporate future land changes
the
too.
verbiage that's used.
In the definition section of our service policy, is there already an existing definition for dwellings?
Yes.
That includes
That's how we got
units
supplies
and
in the first
includes.
place.
Yes, but if we want to specify, like Charles mentions, the equivalent service units, we can definitely use TCQ's description, and I know that's probably.
But I also wanna make sure we don't have a repeat of what we've had, because an RV site becomes a park model, becomes a stick and mortar, a brick and stick, and on, and then
Right.
we're back to where we are now. And that's my comment.
On our definition, in the service policy under 1.2.22, dwelling, a house, mobile home, apartment, or building used primarily for human habitation. The word dwelling shall not include hotels, motels, tourist courts, or other accommodations for transit, sororities, rooming, houses, businesses, or industrial facilities.
So that does not include RVs, right?
Yeah, it didn't say motorhome for RVs, yeah.
But yeah.
We can definitely elaborate on it.
Just to be inclusive of the RV, to address the concern that was already communicated.
Not a problem.
And then I'm in favor, like, I make a motion, contingent upon the modification of elaboration of inclusion of RVs to pass.
Just a second. Motion made by Mr. Starkey with a second by Mr. Donahue. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take it to 7. Consider and discuss for possible approval of work order number 7 for seawater plant design service, full-scale amendment, addendum number 1. Charles?
Yeah, well, David Petrie, he's there in the audience, audience, maybe he can present.
Sure.
We call that passing the buck.
But we
It's
already
not,
made an approval.
almost football season.
Is the addendum in your package?
Yes.
So basically, this addendum is covering two items. One of them is the CFD study. This is to get in front of any concerns or objections that may come up down the road on the intake relative to the velocities going across the screen. The CFD study is a computerized model that looks at all of those velocities and flows and maps them out, and then gives us a product that demonstrates that we're going to be in compliance with what we say that we're going to be in. And so that's the purpose of that CFD study. And then if it identifies anything that needs to get incorporated into the design, then of course that can be incorporated into the design, and and made so that it is what we want it to be at the end. The other is the additional work that went into the I think it was 8 different alternate locations that we had to go through before we finally were able to find the one that had the least environmental impact. And so that's the purpose of this change order request addendum.
This is $5 million.
Any questions?
How much is the change?
The change.
108,000.
Yeah, 108.
So that's line item
Additional.
108,450, so it takes it from a 5.205 to a
That's for 6
5.358.
additional sites. It says 6.
6.
But also the analysis
It's
of the intake.
2 and then 6 additional.
But it's also the analysis of the intake, which is a 3D model of the
Right.
intake and the simulated flow through a CAD model, sounds like.
Correct. Well, it's got its own modeling software. for
Software, okay.
I'll make a motion.
Motion approved.
Motion for approval by Mr. Water, seconded by Mr. Donahue. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None are opposed. Motion does carry. Item 8, consider and discuss for possible approval of change order number 2 with Southern Crystal Solutions for Long Island Village water and sewer improvements, excuse me.
Lift stations. Who's
Yeah,
talking?
Yeah, so on this one, as we've been discussing with, there was a wastewater revision where we weren't able to clear that second bridge. And so we had to get some additional depth on the master lift station and the sewer main. And so we basically also looked at doing some point repairs rather than a replacement on sundial. And so we were able to negotiate all of the conditions of this change order. And we are requesting an increase for $214,605.49. And that's for the wastewater revisions due to not being able to clear that bridge on Seashell Boulevard. And we do have enough funds from the investment income to cover this increase in construction costs, so we recommend approval.
We talked about this 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
Motion for approval by Mr. Water, seconded by Mr. Donahue. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
There are none opposed. The motion does carry. Thank you. Thank you, Charles. Let's take it to
Yeah,
9. Consider and remove from the table the following item tabled at the regular meeting on July 23rd, 2025. Consider and discuss for possible approval of change order number 3 for lift station rehabilitation project number 1 with Morrill LLC.
We have to make a motion to remove it?
Yes. Yes,
I'll make that motion.
Motion to remove off the table by Mr. Starkey, second by Mr. Botter. All those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Motion is off the table. Item 10, consider and discuss for possible approval of change order number 3 for lift station rehabilitation project number 1 with Morrill LLC.
Okay, on this one, our in-house engineer, Charles, had mentioned that, to take no action on this one, he's gonna recommend that, get it off the table.
Okay.
Let it die.
Yep. Item 11.
Yes.
Consider and discuss for possible approval the quarterly investment report for the quarter ending June 30th, 2025.
Eddie, it's your time to shine.
I was so suspenseful, it took me a second to get up.
Wait a minute. I moved fast with it. Keep up.
Ding, 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 ding.
You realize how quickly you're gonna go through this. So for the quarter ending June 30th, 2025, the total portfolio for all funds was $59,158,196. The yield for the quarter was 4.15, and the quarterly interest earnings was $650,332.
Need a motion to acknowledge?
Just a question.
Yes.
About $5 million difference from last month in the balance, in the book value.
So, yes, most of this money is project funds. We have several projects that are ongoing. Long Island Village, the water plant, which is ongoing. So that causes the fluctuations in the balance.
Acknowledge.
Actually, this is an agenda item, I could approve or deny.
Well then, I'll make a motion, unless there's more discussion, to approve.
Motion for approval by Mr. Starkey, seconded by Mr. Donahue. All those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Motion carries, none opposed. Thank you. Item 12, consider and discuss for possible approval of the proposed tax rate publication. Do we want to wait till Dr. Lalonde gets here on this item?
No, we,
We have to, we don't have to.
yes, we have to do a roll call in support, but
Right.
we can list him as being absent. It's
Do we want
perfectly
to
fine.
go on to 13, 14 and kind of come back to it just in case?
Oh, do you expect him to come in?
Yeah, he said he's.
He said he was running
Oh,
late.
okay.
He,
That's fine.
has since changed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he will not be present.
Oh, okay,
Okay, so then let's carry on.
yes.
I need, this calls for an action, so we'll do a roll call.
Yes, so just to fill you in, the tax rate for the district is currently 6.2004 cents per $100 of value. Because of the seawater tax bonds that we're going to issue, we are expecting to close on those in November. There will be already debt service payments due this fiscal year. So that's, we're gonna have to cover that first year of debt payments in this. So the tax rate would be going up to 12.2714 for this year. So an increase of approximately 6 cents, which is well within what we told the voters when we passed the bond.
How long will we withstand that increase? Is it just a year or?
No, so each year we raise only enough to cover that year's debt service. So next year we would expect to be around the same amount approximately. So, and we'll continue to have, so it was a 30-year
Follows
bond.
the debt.
Yeah, so we'll continue to see this
But
tax rate.
on this one, maybe, I'm sorry, excuse me, what, 2032 is gonna drop down again because of the other.
You have
We
other
will,
maturities.
yes, we will have a bond that is paid off, scheduled to be paid off in 2032.
2032, we'll go back down about 10 cents maybe.
And this will carry us through 2026. You anticipated it would stay roughly the same for 2027. And the light at the end of the tunnel is 2031, where some debt services will get paid off.
2032.
32.
So we'll be expected to go down in 2032.
And this is well within
We promised it.
what we set the expectations, so we're managing that. All right,
Correct.
motion approved.
Second.
And also for Long Island Village,
Oh,
we're doing two tax rates. The one for Long Island Village, currently 54, 47, 54, so 54.4. And it's gonna go down to 54.0 for Long Island Village, 54,
There you go.
070.
They got a decrease.
So they got a slight decrease.
Yeah, we're gonna be charging for some taps, it sounds like, so it all comes out in the wash. You need a roll call.
All right, Dave Dowder, I approve.
Approval made by Mr. Botter, approval for Mr. Friedman,
Approval for Jason Starkey.
and absent we have Dr. Lalonde.
Yes.
So that, do we need to do the same for Long Island, or that's one is sufficient?
I'm gonna pass it with one resolution
Okay.
for include both, so I think that's.
So we're sufficient?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's take it to item 13, consider and review expenditures from July 16th, 2025 to July 31st, 2025. This is acknowledged by Mr. Botter, acknowledged by Mr. Friedman,
Acknowledge.
acknowledged by Mr. Starkey, acknowledged by Mr. Donahue. Item 14, presentation by Norris Leal on seawater desalination treatment intake structure.
This is my favorite part of the day.
Okay. All right. So this is to get back with everybody on the board on where we have ended up and the type of intake that ended up with. So in this presentation, we'll give an intake site overview, overview of the plans and sections, the intake screen structure itself, environmental impacts that we're perceiving that this location is going to give us, and then if there's any questions. So the site itself is located, this is Dock 6 on Pilot. Tex Pack is over here. The gate to come in is down this way, and so we're gonna be right in that area right there. Just off of the end of Dock 6. We'd have a parking in access road and then go out there. We're working on the raw water line to come out, probably go under Port Road, right up there where it says Port Road, and then over and intersect the alignment that we've already got. Any questions on that or where it is that, okay. So to look at, looking at the intake itself from the top, looking down, this is what this picture would demonstrate. So you can see we're about 13 feet. This is the seawall right here. The red line represents the demarcation line for the waters of the United States. And so we're about 13 feet into the waters, then plus the screens will extend out from there, another 5 or 6 feet for each screen. Off the end of each screen, we'll have a dolphin or to protect it from anything coming on and bumping into it. Then the back into the bank will be the basin and the vertical turbine pumps back here that will be pulling in the water across the screens through the basin and then over to the plant.
Talk to me briefly about the protection plan as I think you call them the dolphins that are out in the water.
Right.
That's going to prevent sea life and whatnot?
No, it's going to prevent a
Understood.
boat strike.
Which we already had one.
Or it's at least going to slow the boat down. Depending on how big it is, how fast it's moving, but it's there to give a buffer off the screens.
And that's a no-wake zone in that area, and there, nobody goes back.
And what dock's there? Sorry.
That's Dock 6.
But what size big, those are the big boys.
That's where the barges come up.
Barges, and there have been some, I guess, oceanographic type ships that have docked in there that have been, of some size.
They dock in here?
No, round, it's kind of like a horseshoe size, and yeah, they're on the other
And
side
they're here.
and further
They
back.
shouldn't be pulling in here.
No, and further back this way.
You
Understood.
can see a couple of barges right there in the.
Right,
Those are barges.
those are barges that are tied up. to
Is
the
there
dock.
3 of them or just 2 of them? There's 2 of them.
There's two there, and then you'll have tugboats that are, just pusher boats.
Working that area.
Back up.
Yeah, the third one is.
But really no reason to be below that second barge that we see on the screen, right?
You're here?
Yeah.
When you say below,
Aiming forward like that.
up here?
Like in and around our intake.
There may be some overhang right here with tugs. We've
There's
seen
no
this
reason there
turn.
should be anybody in this.
There shouldn't be anybody there
Should be
because
here.
the depth also drops off. They don't wanna, they're gonna risk grounding going
How
down.
deep are we again?
Well, we're going, let me get.
You'll get there, sorry.
Let me get there. Not as deep as we were going to be.
Okay.
Here's another, look at it with just kind of showing the basin without the top on it. Here's a side view, and so you can
Also,
see.
the concrete piles out there in the water too.
Right.
And that'll be in front of those
That's what I was
dolphins.
calling dolphin, a piling.
I see 4 of them, is that correct? 1-by-1 concrete piles for protection from the vessels?
Correct,
Yes.
correct. That's what we were just touching base on.
And the
So-
dolphins will be behind that?
But that's what I was calling it.
That's what you're calling a dolphin?
Right.
I understand.
So the bottom of the screen, we're targeting to be at least 5 foot off of the bottom. This is using the existing contours that we had from the Corps of Engineers. The divers that went out when we were working on the pier, it may be that it's deeper. It falls off faster there, which would just, be, favorable to us. But at this point, we're targeting 5 foot off the bottom and then, 3 foot off of mean low water. And so it'll be, 3 feet from the surface at lowest low tide. any questions.
Those concrete piles will be above water, it looks like.
That's correct. They'll go from the bottom up to be even with the top of the structure. And there will be, Coast Guard requirements for signage and lights and what, that will come out as we go through the process and they review the plans. They'll tell us, we want this and this and this, which will have to be added onto it. That's correct.
Okay.
So this next picture, I'm gonna show you, this shows the intake structure. Now, the screen orientation on this picture is not, we're looking at a drum screen, one of them, that would be kind of sticking right out at you. But this is a T configuration, but it shows this is what would be on the intake, basically, and the screens will go up and down that. When they come down here, the door will open, the screen will be in, when the screen moves, the door will close. That way, fish and turtles and nothing is coming inside the intake when the screen protection is not there. And the environmental impacts that we're looking at this site is, so basically, we've reduced the footprint to approximately 1/10 of an acre. It's a little under, but that's a good line of demarcation. There's 2 random mangrove trees that are growing on top of that seawall. They're not doing what mangroves do. They're on the shore. They're just a bird dropped their seeds there and they took root. There are oysters on the seawall that will be disturbed with the removal of about 40 feet of the seawall to cut out for the intake to go into that spot. Minor waters of the U.S. impact with the area of the 13, with the intake extending into the waters of the U.S. And, Hicks calls that a minor impact. Then we'll have the temporary impact on the wetlands for construction. Where we put the coffer dam up to build the intake right there, they'll have a temporary impact for that. And then there'll be temporary impacts as we're putting in the water line going back. So we've greatly reduced our impacts. There's no seagrasses are being impacted. The oysters are really the main thing at this point that we're disturbing. And we've minimized that footprint as well. So
it's 1/10 of an acre. What was it before it became a 1/10 of an acre approximately?
It was about, if memory serves, on one of, it was about 1.2 acres.
That's what I thought. So it's a significant reduction.
Yeah.
In impact. And I just think these are important things for us to highlight as we continue to communicate and work, with Navigation District and those meetings that are coming up, just to, highlight the lengths that we've gone to minimize the impact that we're going to have on the ecological system. I think that's important to note.
What's the trade-off from being in a much more shallow intake location? I know you had said before that the depth was an important piece of the.
Well, we're working with the depth before to be able to be equal with the channel and not, getting impacts. But as we have reduced our footprint and the work associated with the intake, we're able to reduce the depth. And the screen manufacturers, everybody, this is kind of the targeted depth, that they're saying will be good for us. To go deeper at this point would not really buy us anything and would add cost.
How deep are we?
It's gonna be about 3 feet down. The top of the screen will be about 3 feet down and the bottom will be about 5 foot off the bottom.
The lowest low. The lowest low tide.
Yeah, the lowest, at mean low tide.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you very much. We move along to item 15, General Manager's report, Carlos.
Yes, reservoir levels have been up for the last 20 days to over 25.
What?
Yeah,
25%?
Over 25%, 20 days. So we still need another 10 more days if it stays the same level, we can switch to stage number 2, back to 2, with lesser restrictions, but the thing is, it's at 25.4 now. It was, I think the highest was 26, 27, but then it's dropping and dropping.
Right.
But we're gonna get some rain next week, or this weekend.
Yeah.
We don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully, the Lord will hear us and.
Oh, he does, and he has.
More at the
I mean,
watershed.
we were almost, what, 17? I mean, we were
Oh.
below 19, we
We're
were,
like 15,
Yeah,
at one
so-
point, 15.
I think we kind of rejoice that our prayers are getting answered, you know?
Amen to
When the
that.
tail end of summer, got some more rain coming,
So,
God is good.
that's it. So possibly, we'll get another report at the next meeting on the 27th, and hopefully we'll get more rain and move on to stage number 2, back up. Less restrictions. It's a needed, stage because, a lot of the companies up in the 2-story or 6-story or 10-story buildings need to wash the windows way up there. We haven't let them, because of
We do.
stage 3, yeah, so they need it.
Yeah.
I'll give them a call when we do. Okay, and then, Texas Desalination Association Annual Conference on September the 24th to the 26th. If any of you wanna come along, I know that Scott.
I'm going. I went
Scott
last
says he
year.
wants to go.
I went last year and I'm going again this year.
Mhm.
It's very
That's a lot of
informative.
good information
I'll let
that
you
we
know.
get, so.
September
You
what?
guys,
24th to the 26th.
24th through 26th next month,
It's a Ryder Cup,
so let us know.
Ryder Cup.
I got
We'll be in New
TV
York.
too.
Wow.
I'll let you know. That's good.
Let me know.
Okay.
Things happening in September, so.
Does that conclude?
Okay, that's all it is for mine.
Thank you. Let's take it to 16, Director of Operations Report. Tavo Noe joint meeting.
I'm gonna do the next.
Who's on first right
Efficient,
there?
right?
So, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, once again, this is the Director of Operations report. And just to mention a couple items off of the report. One of the bigger ones on the distribution side is the change meters and the faulty meter transmitters. There was a reduction from last month to this month, but it continues to be ongoing, right? The change of the meters, the registers that keep going out on us. Mueller is warranting these meters, so that's a good thing. They continue to help us out to try to correct the issue. I do want to add that the distribution manager has negotiated a labor cost, so we get a credit, $32 an hour for the amount of labor that we do in replacing these meters, and they give us a credit, and he's able to get additional meters or registers and stuff like that.
Great. That's nice.
And the collection side, do wanna mention preventive maintenance, we did see, sort of a fallout. And, there's nothing on there from last month to this month as far as preventive maintenance goes. But, the reason behind that is the issue at Palm and Taylor, and Santiago will mention, we'll go into detail about that issue. But, all the resources have been, there. And that pretty much wraps up, Director of Operations report. Any questions?
Adam would have been so happy. Not gonna shorten it up last time.
Job known.
Chairman, members of the board, I'm gonna give you an update on Palm and Taylor and Buena Vista. And we have a picture that we took, and this picture is when we noticed that we had a problem there in that intersection. We saw a sinkhole forming in that area. So when we noticed that, we contacted a contractor to give us an assessment of that manhole. So they went in there, they took some pictures, they videotaped the lines, and they noticed that we had a lot of infiltration, and they also noticed that the line that runs from Palm to Taylor
it was broken, so that's where we were getting some infiltration. We're getting dirt and whatnot in there. So we got there to do the work. So what they did, when they were excavating, they repaired the manhole. And then once they did another assessment, when they had the hole open, they said that the manhole didn't have anything. So what they decided to do is repair the line that runs from Palm to Taylor. So they repair about 32 feet, something like that. And then, once they repaired that, they started closing the hole. They put the caliche, they put all the dirt back. So once they did that, a couple of days, we noticed another sinkhole further down on Taylor. So when we noticed that, we said, well, okay, there's another problem. Actually, that line is like a 40-year-old line, so it's
my next question.
just breaking. So we decided to ask Southern Transit again for another quote to repair that. So that quote came in into about $228,000 to repair that. So we decided to get another quote from Coordinate Constructions, and that was like 120. So among ourselves, we started talking, and we said, you know what? Let's see if we'll start talking to the managers. And they said, yeah, we can probably take care of it in-house. So yeah, we went in there, started digging, and about 8 to 10 feet, we found groundwater, and we couldn't handle the groundwater. There was a lot of groundwater coming out. It's like we had a water leak in there. So we were having trouble with that, and so we just started, thinking and what we were gonna do. So we contacted a contractor that's working here at the water plant. They're doing our water plant. So he went out there and he showed us that, okay, every time they do an excavation that deep, like 15 to 20 feet, he showed us another ways of dewatering. So we tried it, we started. You can see that hole right there is about 12 to 15 feet deep. And it's full of water. We just couldn't handle that groundwater. So we tried that new method and it worked. So after that, it took us about 4 days to fix the line. 4 days, and then we handled it. We took care of it. The guys were down there, and we did take care of it in-house. And after that, once we fixed it and we did all the repairs, we covered it. And then we noticed that the line that comes from Palo Blanco to Palm also got compromised somehow.
So do we need to really assess more of those lines over there and be prepared?
Yes.
Is that what our next?
So our next step is we're gonna videotape that line and see how bad it is, and we're gonna assess the problem, there. I guess we don't know yet.
There's gonna be more problems
Right.
coming up.
So our thinking is probably put a lift station on Palo Blanco and do a force main, because this line runs through a property of 2 homes, right? It is about 12 feet deep. So as you can see, these holes are huge.
And safety.
And and there's a lot of also utilities that run through there. So I think our next step, we need to check how bad that line is. And if we need to abandon that line, we're gonna have to do another lift station.
I think we should stay ahead of it. And
Yeah.
I think
For sure. I don't miss this in the golf business. Nightmare, man.
And Robert, nice letter. Thank you. That was very nice.
So by taking this in-house, doing it in-house, we spend like 27,000 in equipment and supplies, and then about 45,000 in man hours. It took us about 2.5 weeks. And we're thinking about maybe 10,000 of paving. So the total about maybe 83,000, so we saved like maybe $40,000.
On behalf of the ratepayers, we all appreciate it.
Yeah.
But you lost a lot of sleep.
Yes,
That's,
of course.
that's the trade-off.
Of course.
Adam was here, he'd say you almost paid for a Traverse. Great job.
Thank you, Tavo.
Thank you.
And thank you, Robert.
I can't take all the credit, I had, some proofreaders, Mr. Gilvan and the guys there,
But it sounds like this problem is going to continue. I mean, it's gonna jump down to the next leg probably. I hope it doesn't, but.
No, one of the biggest problems we had was our camera was sent off for repairs in June. And so we haven't been able to get that back. We were
Our brand new camera. It's a new camera.
Yes.
More or less.
And we're waiting for that to come back so we can look at that, because before you hear about it from SBI, there's also, a problem area that we're looking at Laguna Boulevard.
Yeah.
And, we're waiting for that camera so we can.
Is that part of the new construction or a different part?
No, that's part of the new construction. What happened is, we've already taken some asphalt out of there. And we're thinking that there may be a bigger block, because we took a pretty good chunk out of asphalt out of there. And we're thinking that there may be a bigger block in there that's causing the problem. So we need to, video that.
Is that on the domestic side,
I'm sorry?
on the domestic water side?
No, the wastewater.
The wastewater.
They pulled out some debris.
We kinda know where it's coming from, or where it was, introduced into our system. When, the work was getting done from, Ford.
By core.
There was asphalt.
Some Padre Island's, work orders.
Wow, one of the changes.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
This will be due from the.
I believe that should conclude, the rest of this. We have the district engineer's report, seawater desalination, Texas Water Development Board, project number 51089 update. Charles, is not here, so I think we'll just.
Well, I am here actually. Can you hear me? I'm camera turned off. Yeah. So just to give you an update, we did have that board meeting on July 24th, and they did approve the commitment. So we got an email from the financial analyst where we need to submit all the bond ordinance by September 5th. So that's going to be on the agenda for the meeting for August 27th with the financial agreement. And so we're in good shape. Pretty much got construction funded. And on the 28th, we'll be on the agenda for the Port Isabel San Benito Navigation District. And it'll be to negotiate that easement, probably on the exhibits that David had presented earlier in the meeting. So, and pilot seems to be running strong as well. So we're on schedule as best as we can be at this point.
Okay, thank you, Charles.
Good job, Charles.
Hope everything's okay for you.
Yeah, we're okay. So, unfortunate, but at least we're getting everything processed, so it'll be all right.
Good. Thank you, Charles. Good to hear. Let's take it to item 18 that adjourns this meeting. Thank you for being here tonight. Hope everyone has a good, healthy, happy weekend.